the shotgun start in golf is full of mathematics. There's a lot of setup work that we have to do in order to make a tournament work. So I'm going to demonstrate to you just exactly how we do a shotgun start here.
And here we go.
Hey. All right. Gentlemen, start your engine!
Greetings and welcome to a Monday edition of the Shotgun Start. It is February 9th. Andy, how we doing?
Brendan, I'm doing all right. I got to say, I took a full swing last night. I attended a 40th birthday party, and
always dangerous.
Little worse for the wear. Flew in, came in hot to Chicago and tore up the town last night.
That's great. The 40th birthday party circuit is like the wedding circuit when you're whatever, 26, 27, 30 or whatever it is, when you have like 8 weddings in a year. Then you redo it, except you don't have the stamina or shape that you did when you were 26. And all of a sudden you're on this 40th birthday circuit. I'm like kind of getting past it, but I just went through it. I had one, and then I had to coach a youth basketball game the next morning about 10:30. I was like Shooter from Hoosiers, like falling, like just coming onto the floor. It was just a disaster. That's a dangerous circuit that you're jumping into right now.
I awoke. I'm on the trip to Chicago. I've got my daughter with me. I awoke to my daughter punching me in the back at 7 a.m. So it was quite the way to wake up. It really set the tone for today. How about the playoff? At least got her up. Did us a solid, ending it quick. This is inevitable. It's more inevitable than Scotty.
It's unbelievable.
Scottsdale.
Of course, we planned to go live at whatever. We figured 5:50, 5:45, 6 o'clock at the latest. I now look at the little ticker, which, PJ hits start. It's at the 48-minute mark. We're of course only 3 minutes into the pod, but like our back end recording system, we're at the 48-minute mark. Hideki just jamming us again. And it was bound to happen. The guy couldn't hit the fairway, for anything the whole day. Not sure he deserved a win based on how, he scrambled his ass off and got the ball in the hole eventually on the front 9, but was very, very, very poor off the tee, and it came back to bite him in the ass in regulation on the last hole, in playoff on the last hole. Got some bad break. I'm kidding. Like, he caught a tough break, hit a pole or something, the rope pole, and pounced into the water. Well, if you hit it, 40 yards offline, that's kind of stuff can happen. But he took it to extras, and now we are live on YouTube as they kick off the freaking Super Bowl. And that's the alternative program.
Did they just kick off?
I don't know. I can't. I gotta get my Peacock.
Doing the coin toss right now.
Okay.
Coin toss.
All right.
We're still good.
So we're counter
Sam
programming.
Darnold jersey you got on, PJ?
It is a Sam Darnold jersey.
Is that new?
Yeah. No, this is from 2018, brother.
So
this is
jumped in.
This is, if you're a Jeff fan and you're rooting against Sam tonight, I'm judging you hard. It's gonna be a lot of green 14 out there.
I feel like we've talked about this before, and the Nico Echevarria and everybody else will be upset, but I don't care. It's Super Bowl Sunday. They're flipping the coin right now. What's the worst jersey? Let's stick to our football teams that you have on hand that you were just like. I mean, the Browns, of course, they're relevant. These jerseys are moot after 12 months for most of them. What's the worst one you ever binge or you splurged on?
Ever is Vernon Golston for sure. Ever Vernon Golston, period. Currently, in the realm of being an adult, that would still fit me. I ordered a Le'Veon jersey the day we signed him, and that obviously was an unmitigated disaster. So that was
that's good. I had a William Green because I was obviously loyal to BC and loved him at BC.
Yeah.
I had a Peyton Hillis jersey.
Oh, wow. That one's nice at least. It's on the cover of Madden.
I had a Nate Vasher jersey I got right after he was going to the Pro Bowl.
We'll have a good
And then I think he's
quarterback
out of the
jersey.
league like 1 year later.
I have a Zach jersey too. I think I wore my Zach jersey like
All right.
twice, literally 2 times.
Well, it's come back around. You have Darnold, and you're using it tonight here for the Super Bowl. It's of course not a Seahawks edition, but I'm glad you're getting some use out of it. What do you make of the Phoenix Open? Chris Gotterup wins his second time in whatever it is, 4 events. Won the Sony, now wins the Phoenix. Chases down Hideki, kind of hangs around. Obviously started hot on Thursday, and then clips him. Obviously, we saw this last summer. Like when he's close, he kind of wins. Like he's able to get himself across the line in a way that not everybody of his similar caliber age group is able to do yet.
I gotta say, I mean, this is a star being born in front of our eyes. Obviously, the power. Today's performance it felt like he was out of it. I think like one of the things that happens with golf telecasts, if Scotty makes a run, it kind of takes the oxygen and attention away from everybody else. But then all of a sudden, like you think Gotterup's kind of too far back, and then he makes a run flurry to finish, and he gets it done. And I gotta say, Chris Gotterup, he's jammed me twice now. I recorded my fried egg pod early on Friday, for next week, and me, KVV, and Joseph talked about Gotterup for like 10 minutes, and he won. He wins this week, so it's like everybody's gonna be talking about that. The last time we talked about Chris Gotterup at length on the pod, he won before it was released also. So
was it Sony or was
Amex.
it okay?
Amex.
Oh, okay.
Or not Amex.
Sony.
Sony. It was like, he was a prescient topic in both these pods, and he goes, but I think like, to surmise, and I don't want to take too much away from that conversation, but some guys just have it. Some guys get in the mix and they get it done. And I think Gotterup's one of those guys where, we saw him obviously, and they talked about it on the telecast, staring down Rory at the Genesis and beating Rory McIlroy in a final group. This is equally, impressive, where you have a big time field, big time leaderboard, known commodities on a course that all these guys are horses for. Mm-hmm. And Chris Gotterup wins. I mean, that drive, the way to finish on the 18 in the playoff, the huge drive, and obviously got a nice kick, but making the birdie, awesome stuff.
Still has never played a Masters, and he's going to go to the Masters with 4 PGA Tour wins. It's kind of nuts, right? I mean, I wonder how often that's happened before. Like Scotty obviously has gotten hot, but he probably played a Master. We've had players win a bunch in the first 4 months of the year.
BG's got 3.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, that's true. He's that's true.
This year's first timers at the Masters is incredible.
Some real talent.
Yeah.
Top 20 players, 25 players in the world. So congrats to Chris Gotterup. Hideki, what can you say? I mean, he was a disaster. He was a disaster all day. I think I thought CBS was pretty good covering like swing, stance, equipment. Like, he was testing a new shaft. I believe it was at Sony, they said, and then he was, finally put it in play. I don't know if it was this week. It was actually in play. He was a mess. Data Golf said, I think they had a good stat. When he finally again missed the 18th fairway, the amount of strokes he lost, if he were to win, would have been like 3rd behind Brian Campbell at the Deere last year. And, Cam Smith, when he won that like sort of miracle players missing all the fairways at Sawgrass, which is a little different. He was, I don't want to say like he didn't deserve to win, but it was kind of a nightmare. And he chipped in on the 1 par 3. He got his birdies on the par 3, missed every single fairway on the front 9. And it was just a nightmare the whole way. So it felt, I don't want to say like appropriate. You don't want to be negative, but like the way he lost was kind of a piece of the entire day.
Yeah. He was just holding on for dear life. And I think to his credit, to get to where he got to with what he had.
Sure.
That's a professional golfer round right there.
Yeah.
That is, you want to know what makes PGA Tour players. Mm-hmm. You go watch where that guy played from all day and look at the score that he shot. He shot 60, he shot a 68 with a bogey at the last, and he was awful, certifiably awful off the tee. And that's, I mean, that's the thing that makes these guys so good. I mean, if he would have won, that would have been an all-time, gritty performance from him in the sense of having so little. And, what's usually so reliable for him is just being kind of a monster tee to green. And today just being so bad off the tee. It was, I mean, he was missing it both ways. He had he had the high right ball going and the low lefter, as we saw in 18. That's not easy. When you have, he had to be standing on the tee, just like no clue where the ball's going.
I mean, he got, I don't want to say fortunate, but that was a 50-50 ball in 17 in regulation. That was like maybe going in the water. I was not trying to put it there, and like could have gone in the hazard there. And
it was like such a soft bounce.
Yeah. So, and it's interesting that whole over the years we've seen, some that like get the rocket ball bounce forward and left, and then others. I mean, that one was sort of hit dead. So he got fortunate there. And yeah, every time you looked up, it was like he was in like desert or schmutz, just trying to like scrap one back into play. And it was to Goddard's benefit by the end of the day. And credit to Goddard. I mean, Hideki made him work for the 3 with the miracle kind of drop and up onto the green. Credit to Goddard. Just this is over. I'm done.
Have you looked at their stats on the week at all? They're actually like hilarious to look at. So Hideki was 70th in the field off the tee, lost 5 shots basically, 4.8 off the tee. Goddard picks up 4, so Goddard's +9 there, and then so Hideki's second in approach to the green, Goddard's third.
Yep.
Goddard's third and around the green, Hideki's second and around the green, and then Hideki picks up 6 shots on the green, and Goddard loses almost a shot. So it's like, Goddard, he picked up 7 on him off the or 8 off the tee for Goddard and +7 for Hideki on the greens, and then everything else is pretty level.
Which is just the opposite of everything we've come to know about Hideki, at least in terms of narrative, right? Now, I don't know about, and I think statistically over the course of his career, right, he's at a tour average or often below average when he's, this clinician tee to green. It was, I would say someone else sort of felt more appropriate to win after watching that for 5 hours. Did you at any point, did you feel like Scotty Scheffler was more likely to win than anyone there?
No.
That's what I thought.
I thought he was too far back.
It was
I mean, it's insane that he was even in the mix.
Yeah.
Given the start. I mean, what a crazy finish. What a round today. He was so close too to getting into that playoff.
Yeah, in the end, he was, a shot shy. Probably, go back and think about a few of them, but it's hard to say. He had 0 bogeys. It's not like, could you have eagled 15 or, it's kind of ridiculous trying to figure it out where you pick one up. But the way it was portrayed was like, all right, here comes Scotty. He is going to win. It was just, there's so many birdie opportunities for like the guys behind him on the back 9. It just felt like a long reach that he got within. Basically we're going Thursday night, this is going to be a cut sweat, right? And it did, he got through comfortably. It was in the 30s or something when he finished Friday night, 36 or something on the board. But we went from a cut sweat on Thursday to 65, 67, 64 to nearly getting a playoff or win for the 3rd time. But it just felt, the way it was being portrayed on social media and a little bit about it was like, all right, here comes the guy that's going to win the tournament. And it was like more of a monumental task. You could throw out that stat. Like, I love how they would always talk about like Tiger. How often can Tiger win from behind? It's like, well, I mean, how often does he need to win from behind? Like you're creating this set of circumstances that are like close to impossible, and then like using it as some sort of detriment or hole in the resume, right? And it's just a preposterous notion. It was a long shot still, though. An impressive runner-up, or T3, I suppose, is how he finishes.
I mean, it's crazy. He goes 73, then he goes 65, 67,
right.
64. Just locked in, playing. It's the whole adage that there was a 90-hole tournament. He would have won.
Is that an old adage now at this point, or just
This was Palm Desert. He
a
would've
chuckle
won.
thing? Yeah, something we could chuckle about here. What
The
other notes you got?
The whole event was great. I mean, what
I
a
thought it
great
was.
leaderboard for
It was.
fans. Like a great mix of big names. You know, having obviously Hideki and Scotty there with the young guys
Yep.
between Goddard and Akshay and
Thor,
Thor.
who had the lead at 17, you know, tied for the lead going to. I loved his quote. That Lamagna keyed us into this. Apparently, he's crediting TGL with his ability to handle the crowds at the Phoenix Open, like noise and I don't know time. I love that. And now we're getting TGL reps, like when they blare in music at practice on an NFL training camp or before the Super Bowl. So Thor, though, he had the lead. Essentially, he was tied, pushing Hideki. It looked like it was going to be Thor and not Goddard up there for about 50 minutes or so, and it turned out to be Goddard was the one that caught him.
That's the crazy thing about this event in general.
Yeah.
Is like it looked like it was Thorbjornsen's, and
Right.
and it between Scotty and Thorbjornsen's move, it just kind of like masked Goddard up, and he's just sitting there. And God, Hideki's got to feel like he booted this. The bogey on 18 obviously is the killer, but then not getting up and down on 17, I thought was. He could have iced the tournament right there, obviously, and I think that's the one that he probably lays up and awake about a little bit more. Do you have what are your thoughts on Goddard?
It feels like he's now a bona fide. I mean, he's certainly catnip for like for the internet crowd. I think he's sort of this burly Jersey boy. I think he seems fantastic. He seems like he has a certain level of self-deprecation, a certain level of lightheartedness and amusement, a certain level of like badass when like he is in the race, right? As you talked about, getting it across the line. And I think is he like a bona fide top 7 American, 8 American? Like we were talking about Long Shot Ryder Cup potential last July. August.
Probably should have been on the team.
And hindsight, sure, but feels like he's on his way to a P Cup this fall, and yeah, he seems like a great person for the game to embrace, the tour to embrace and push as one of the, not just for his golfing abilities, but I really sort of enjoy his personality, whether it be on social media, on the golf course, and he seems to be keenly aware of like. I don't know, the conversation and ability for him to go and like make something more of himself. And that's what I kind of appreciate about him. We've had some frequent stars from America, or at least good golfers, the best American golfers have been some sticks in the mud occasionally. And I don't know that he's that.
Who are you inferring as a stick in the mud?
I don't know. People more concerned about rent control and things like that and distressed debt. I don't know. What do you think about Goddard? It's a pretty open-ended question.
I mean, I'm pouring one out tonight. My usual go-to source right after the moment for world ranking numbers is Nosferatu. He appears to got hacked. Sad for Mr. Nosferatu.
Yeah.
That was a tough break not to be able to go see where he's at, but I mean he's got to be fringe top 10 OWGR at this point.
Yeah,
I don't think the arrow is pointing more up with a young player in the game than him right now, and I think like the big question, I think we've seen him do it on the toughest golf courses with the way he performed at the Open, at both Opens last year. He'll be playing his 4th major of his career, I believe, at the Masters.
Yes.
I think the question, my big question will be, is he going to be like a hot run golfer where he gets hot and then there's lulls? Is this guy going to be pretty consistently at the top? Like, what are we looking at? Are we looking at a guy that could be in the top 5 of the world rankings? Or what I feel like we've gotten a lot of in recent years is the guys that float between 7 and 20.
Would Max Homa be an example of that kind?
Yeah.
Like obviously another guy who gets wins, a ton of wins.
Peach, you gotta jump in here for a second. We gotta clean up on aisle 5 in here.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay.
You're watching he's on dad duty while we record this and try to
Okay.
get done by the quarter. Peach, what were your observations from Sunday at Scottsdale?
I texted Joseph at probably right when it went to CBS after watching the Golf Channel coverage all day that it was amazing that Hideki was even in the situation where he was leading the tournament, much less with the talent behind him. Siwoo didn't have a great day. Nikolai threw up all over himself. Kind of disappointing. He rallied, but the situation on 2 where he ended up all the way on the left and had to take a drop, and I feel like that set him off. Thor, I thought it was Thor, and there was. I know you asked Andy, was there any point where you actually thought that Scotty had the best chance to win? I would say no, but there was like a 5-minute stretch where I was like, it's he's coming, like he's right there. I thought. Yeah. I figured you needed to get to at least 17, which is what it ended up being in a playoff. But he just ran out of holes. But interesting to see what you can spot a field of 73 on Thursday and still come in a tie for third is quite a place to be.
Seriously, this only boosts his sort of standing, I would imagine. It's not.
So I looked up pre-hacking. Nosferatu said that Goddard can get as high as 5th. I don't know with Hideki performance ahead of him if he's going to end up getting that high, but I would assume he's going to be in the top 10 after this.
Where does Phoenix rank for you in terms of like golf event? There was a lot of chatter about, Hovland said it was tame, much tamer this year. I kind of get, whatever, it's fine. It's just a different deal. People wear costumes. Some of them are amusing. Most of them are not. Almost all of them are not. And like, there's a lot of like social media content around the event, but I think that sort of obscures how good of a golf tournament consistently delivers. And I think like the course, I've been writing and talking about 17 now for like 12 years, and it's become like too mainstream, honestly, to talk about how 17 is a great, fun golf hole. Today's pin was fun as hell and fabulous. But I think when we just all you share on social media are like the people running in and the people in their costume. This is almost pretty consistently in like pretty firm shape. It was today. Like you were seeing balls get like nuclear bounces over greens when they landed on greens. It was messing with guys. And obviously if you missed the fairway and coming for the rough, you weren't going to be able to stop it. And I feel like that's become a consistent theme here with the condition of Scottsdale. And so we get caught up with, the biggest party on earth or whatever, the biggest party in golf. And it kind of has slotted itself as one of the best actual golf tournaments, golf course condition tournaments for regular PGA Tour events.
I think on the golf course or golf tournament, like it is overlooked and underrated because of the whole narrative about it, especially like the front nine is you saw that throw plenty of guys for a loop out there today. The back is gettable, and that's what everybody just talks about. But the front, if you can get out there and put up a number going out, it is a huge advantage. I mean, you saw what it did for Scotty today to even get him back into position.
Andy, don't you know the keeper here, the maintenance guy?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't work there anymore.
All right. Well, he's like upholding his tradition of firmness here.
I think. I mean, this event it's spectacular in terms of like, there's what you guys were talking about. I think the party atmosphere obviously has its pluses and minuses. And some of the minuses are like it distracts from how good the golf product is. I mean, I think like one of the things that like the golf course, like as you said, Brendan, like everybody talks about the 17th hole. It's really a fun finish, and it's really similar in a way to like Sawgrass, how Sawgrass finishes. Mm-hmm. It's like it just gives you an opportunity to have these big swings, and the key to it is like there's risk, whether it be on with 17, 15's kind of like a gimme, but even today it was fun watching like where Thorbjornsen just like plays 15 phenomenally, and Hideki has to lay up, and you're like, oh man, like not making a birdie here would be big for Hideki. He makes the birdie. I just, 16 when it gets firm the way it is, like I really like that back pin where it's like if you land it, you have to hit such a good shot to get it close, and if you land it a little bit too far, it rolls back into where you saw Thorbjornsen. This event I was thinking about. And I think I said this on Friday a little bit, but I mean, if I was just drafting PGA Tour run events, this one goes pretty high. It goes way before so many of the signature events.
I would agree with that. We'll see.
I also think the slot is awesome.
Yeah,
before
it's
the Super
perfect.
Bowl.
You can't. It would be a shame, honestly. I think to move it, to lose it, and start next week. I think it's so like tied in with Super Bowl week. Obviously, you get a situation like today that sucks, but I think it like I don't know. I feel like those are two like so tied together for me that I would have a hard time moving it.
I can't recall them ever having like major weather issues. Obviously, it's Phoenix, but like it was muddy one year. Like they had hail. You get frost in the morning, you get frost delays, and they never finish by darkness the first 2 days, even this week with reduced fields and all that. But it was 80 and no wind essentially for 4 days.
I think there'd be worse ways for the tour to spend some money than to get. I guess like the issue is you can't trust them to build really good tournament courses, but legitimately. This golf course and Sawgrass elevate the tournaments. Obviously, Riviera elevates the tournament, the golf course. Pebble's pretty solid. Like, if the tour had like 3 more great golf courses, it would really help regular golf courses. And they have $1.5 billion. They could invest, 150 in it, and they have 3 more tournaments that could be great, but they would obviously probably hire like Lanny and let him cook.
I'd be really careful where you're going right now, Andy. You're a couple steps away from
recreating the TPC network.
Well, no, working yourself into a shoot and suggesting that the Players is the major, the number one, the beggar ahead of all the majors because it's elevated. You're very close.
It's not even a major. It's ahead of all the majors.
It's more than a major. You're very close to working yourself into a shoot here. But
before we work ourselves into that shoot, I do think we should talk about how somebody might look.
Look how going to TPC Scottsdale for this elevated event.
Yeah, that could be one way you could look at it.
And your Mobjack belt. We have some new talking points. Let me just get to them here.
I think it's more than a talking point. It's definitely a script.
Person 1. We're about 6 weeks out from spring, which means golf season is almost here. Person 2.
Person 2. Yep. Time to freshen up the wardrobe and finally replace those old belts with Mobjack.
Vintage works for cars and watches, not belts. The best move is heading to mobjack.com and checking out their patterns and color combos.
The designs are clean and colorful without being loud. Handcrafted in small batches right here in the U.S. The quality really shows.
I love that the patterns are fade resistant. Sun, sweat, Texas heat. The colors hold up, and the new styles are great. Nantucket and Bar Harbor are standouts.
Nantucket is a favorite. Clean, understated, goes with everything. Premium materials across the board, including Italian leather from a 5th generation family tannery. Soft feel, firm structure, exactly how a belt should be.
Mobjack's been a great partner. I can attest to that. I don't know about person 1, but I can attest to that. And it's been awesome watching them take off. Fried Egg listeners get 15% off with Fried Egg. The code Fried Egg. One word, Fried Egg. This is their best promotion outside of the holiday season. Well, person 2. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. I'm like Ron Burgundy here. Go ahead.
Person 2. That's Mobjack. No C. That's MOBJAK.com. Mobjack.com. No C. These are premium belts, and they'll be the best one in your collection.
Not part of the script. I'll just attest these belts are freaking good. They're awesome. I love them. I have 3 of them. They're amazing. Did we hit the jackpot partnering with these people? Mobjack with no C. All right. Anything else from Scottsdale you want to clean up? CBS I thought was good. They just, like we talked about them last week, we threw them their flowers in their return. Thought there were a couple slip ups, like the Wagner thing, like after Scotty had chipped or putted in from off the green. I don't know. It felt like a little forced or too late for that. I know you can't, pre-anticipate Scotty rolling one in from there, but I don't know. Some shot. Thought that felt like a little forced when we were watching the leaders on 16 and go through the cauldron. And Miss Scotty walked into 16. Go ahead.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. I think obviously this is working something new in. They got to try stuff, and it's be so hard to nail exactly how you do these things, while they happen. I think what would have been more interesting to me with Johnson and is like get him out in front, especially on today's tournament. Get him out in front of the groups. Have them do the chips from various spots around 17 green. Everybody's going for it, and showcase that, and so many guys are going to bail right, and that chip's so difficult. Like showing that and explaining like the nuance of the green, I think would be more interesting than like being like, this is how Scotty putted out of, grass because the, grain was into him.
Yeah.
I think that
it was informative. It was just like, it felt oddly timed.
It was,
right?
and there was so much going on at the time.
Right.
And this is going to be a work in progress, obviously, but I do think the diverse amounts of voices, like with humor, like they, serious analysis, they just have like a really nice mix of personalities in that broadcast. I had a question for you two, both of you.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. People, you always forget how young Akshay is. Akshay just turned 24.
Yeah.
Thorbjornsen's 24. Who do you buy for a better career right now? Gun to your head.
Thorbjornsen.
Yeah, I think Thorbjornsen.
Who do you buy?
I think Thorbjornsen, but it's hard because like Akshay's already done so much, and he's actually younger.
All right, I lost my internet, but I'm back. Here's the joy of live. You got me?
Boy. Yeah,
you got me. All right,
I didn't lose you.
I didn't lose you for a second.
Who'd you take? Akshay? I missed your answer.
I think I take Thorbjornsen.
I agree.
But I do think like Akshay always is constantly undervalued in the best young player. He's so young.
Oh, I agree. I agree with that. One thing I would be funny. Obviously, if Wagner was doing 17 chips, that would have to be taped. But I do love the idea of everybody waiting to hit up, Wagner scurrying around the green and doing chips. That'd be great if they just jammed him.
They could get a little ball boy for him, like Wimbledon, that like runs out,
just standing there like out of tension.
I mean, that hole was fabulous again today, and the pin was great. That's it for Phoenix. Unless you got some other notes you want to unload.
I think we got to just talk about
DP World Tour. Quote from P. Reed. It's always been a dream of mine to be an American who wins the race to Dubai, and we're off to a fast start. I just don't think that's true. Always been a dream when you were growing up in Texas and Louisiana, a dream was to win the race to Dubai. I do think it's become a career goal of his as he's growing as a golfer. But
I disagree. I disagree. I could see that being not the race to Dubai, but the Euro Tour money list. I mean, the Euro Tour was so good when we were kids.
I agree. I'm just parsing his language like very, very close. I just don't know that it's
He's such a happy boy.
I agree. He's giddy. He's giddy. Well, he goes win, playoff loss, win in the Middle East.
Has not been beaten in regulation.
He was in that Dubai Invitational the week before the Dubai Desert Classic? I think
in 3 events at least.
Yeah, in the last 3 events.
He should never leave the Middle East. He's just
good.
New sultan of the Middle East.
He's like an American quagmire where he just gets stuck in never leaves the Middle East. I want to know. So he's going to get his card via the top 10 DP World Tour. He's just going to. He's well on his way. You called it, although you did it in a little too harsh, sort of demeaning terms about being a 7-footer in a gym with 5th graders or whatever your analogy was.
Well, who said it was harsh? You?
Yeah,
Seems like he's like a 7-footer
it's disrespectful to Nathan Kimsey and Nacho and the like. It's just disrespectful.
Callum Hill wasn't gonna get the best of P 2 weeks in a row. We knew that.
That's true. That's true. What I want to know is, like, how far does he take this? Like, is he playing the magical Kenya Open in 2 weeks? Like, how deep is he getting into DP World Tour life? Is he just going to run the table? Like, I think even he has his limits while he's sipping his Trenta strawberry drink or whatever it is, no inclusions. Like, how deep is he going to go on the DP World Tour circuit? He's
Do you
not
know
playing
how
the
many
Kenya.
OWGR sanctioned events he played last year? Offhand,
I'm going to guess like 15, like Asia Tour events.
18. He played 18 times plus the full live schedule. So that, I mean, he's effectively played like 33 to 35 starts last year. I can see him playing everything.
Like,
it's awesome.
To the Hanan Classic? Is he going to DLF in March ahead of the Masters? Probably.
He might pave a new path to number 1 by virtue of being suspended. He's just gonna beat up on these guys for an entire year. I mean, he's gonna be in the top 20 of the world rankings. Again, Nosferatu going down. It's just crippling my ability to talk about where they're gonna be ranked. But yeah, he's gonna be in the top 20 in the rankings.
It'd be like an old Gonzaga team beating up on the West Coast Conference, getting to number 1 in the poll, and they're like, "Is he like? Do we know? What is he? Is he the number 1 player? We're not sure." Like,
I mean, they're doing it again this year.
Yeah,
they got absolutely beat to crap by the one good team they played this year.
Who was that? Connecticut or
Michigan?
Michigan. Okay, yeah, that's right, by 30 points. So yeah, that's my big question. How deep is he gonna go? P is hot. He's coming home. Colin Morikawa is the only American to finish number 1 on the European Tour. P is now in line to maybe make a run at number 2. You have anything else from the Qatar Classic? I got like quotes from a caddy. He's like, this actually is a good golf course, and this is why P would succeed here. He said, you know, there's real width. There's real width on both fairway to green and off the tee. And the minor shift in angles from tee to fairway, it's not bad. And in the crosswinds, it actually makes it a real challenge. So that kind of stuff, to see P succeeding in that kind of environment is unsurprising. The player's player. You know?
I mean, he had to take down, you know, Angel Ayora. You know.
Yeah. Who else? You're gonna just
Sam Bradbury. Gregorio
DeLeo.
Big Twan, Nacho, Henny Duplessis was T15.
Dom DeLeo's kid. Gave him a run for the money. I love it. Dan Brown, by the way, I don't know if you saw him in Phoenix this week. We have a real character has joined the PGA Tour. We'll share more about him later, but Dan Brown is living it up in Phoenix.
Dan Brown, Players Rookie Media Day is
there you go.
On the list for the boys.
We sent, I don't know if I even told you this, but the deck for what we're going to do at the Players, I termed it Rookie Combine with the boys, and the boys are going to put the rookies through a combine there. So maybe Dan Brown's going to be involved. On the
Combine. Which rookie are you most excited to talk to?
We were saying Penji's probably going to have a lot of hoopla. So we were looking at the RNP, Christopher Raitan, other options that might not have as much hype as Penji.
We got time, right? We got not a lot of time, a month.
Who else? There'll be a lot of hype around a lot of guys.
I want the Canadian guy, Sudarshan, Yellow Mirage. He'll get a lot of.
What about AJ Ewart? Finally get him out of his dad's shadow.
We'll get some bio.
Is he in the field?
He's all right. Toasty, so I would assume so.
Continuing on.
Do you want to talk about Brandl's take?
I've got it in news. Let's rip through results. James Nicholas wins the KFT, a Star Golf Championship presented by MasterCard. Congrats to him. Guy has been
story.
Like, some people pop him because he's like, he's obviously very popular on social media and like everybody, handsome fella and all that. But like, guy has been grinding his ass off to be a golf pro and a tour pro, and he wins. That's really.
I mean,
cool
he
story.
got recruited to play football at Yale.
Yale, yeah.
Played football, then joined the golf team, became an all Ivy League, like one of the best players in the country, but he played at Yale. And I mean, his backup plan to golf is being like an orthopedic surgeon. Like he's going to be a doctor if this doesn't work out. It's a cool ass story.
I agree. Congrats to him winning. That's a real tour to win on. That's not some Mickey Mouse minor league. I mean, anything. That's a big deal. Live Riyadh, Elvis Smiley goes and gets it. Beats John Rahm by 1. This was a Saturday result.
It's tough look for Talor.
Why is that?
He's hailed himself Sam Presti of Live. And
yeah.
Cam Smith went out and made the move of the offseason, getting Elvis.
Cam Smith boosting says he thinks Elvis could be the best player in the world after he just won. I mean, obviously you're riding high then, but we've heard a lot of hype from Australia about Elvis Smiley and some justifiable results as well to go with the hype. And beating John Rahm and obviously others in the field, Bryson, David Puig was in the mix, is a real victory for a young guy like Elvis Smiley, and the Ripper win the team event on that based on Elvis Cam. So congrats to them on their early success in Riyadh.
I mean, good to just see an all around good teammate, guy that does wonders in the locker room, in the dugout. Mentoring a kid and showing him how to hit it to all parts of the field with Mark Leishman.
Like a
not
player
the most
manager.
powerful first baseman, but you cannot diminish his intangibles he brings to the locker room for
It's
Ripper.
like top prospect getting to watch John Olerud in the cage 4 games. That's what Elvis has. All right, Jackson Coiven, we got to give a nod to him at the Amar Ari Invitational in Hawaii at the Mauna Lanai course. Breaks a 30-year, 36-hole scoring record set by Tiger Woods, I believe, at the Pac-10 championship. It was the Pac-10 then, by going 62, 62, 20 under. That was a 30-year scoring record. Obliterates Auburn's 54-hole scoring record by 7 shots. Wins, I think he won the individual title by 5. The team, Auburn, won the Invitational. Obviously, he didn't shoot 62 in the third day. I forget what it was, but it was still won by 5. A big early season stake in the ground from the number 1 amateur in the world. So the kind of guy who can separate.
Guy's a stud.
Yeah, the real deal. News, Brandel Chambly worked himself into a shoot. This felt like that meme from Kendall Roy saying, "You're too online. You're too online. You've lost touch with reality. You got to come back to us. You're too online." And this is Brandel, just the ultimate, he's a brilliant commentator on golf for 11 years, but he can be provocative. He can kind of, you have to talk a lot, and we say some crazy things. And this, I felt like, was a little too far over the edge. This on the back of the marketing campaign of the PGA Tour is ramming down our throats that March is going to be major. Brandel said, "So in every single way that a metric could be used to measure whether something is major, the Players to me stands alone and above all the other 4 major championships as not just a major. It is, in my estimation, the best major." When you work,
No way.
Now this is like, I would say here we're dealing with opinion, but here I think we're dealing with fact, and he's wrong on this fact. When you look at the Players Championship, with all due respect, the other 4 major championships, it is the best field in golf. It is the deepest field in golf. I think that is factually, that part is not accurate. It is not.
No, see, this is where the data boys will work themselves in a tizzy and say it is. This is statistically correct. But this is statistically correct because players 51 through 125 in this event are really good. And there aren't any of these handouts. But here's this plain simple truth: if I was going to go down a street and ask any lay person, any lay golf fan to list out major champion favorites, at any major championship, it would probably go along the lines of Scottie Scheffler, Rory McIlroy, John Rahm, Bryson DeChambeau, and Xander, maybe. That's the top 5. And 2 of those top 5 contenders are not in the Players. Those are 2 of the 5 biggest names in major championship golf that are not in the field. And we can talk about why they aren't in the field, but that alone is like a disqualifier to saying that you have a great, this great field. You don't have literally 2 of the short list favorites. And that's like, I don't know.
Are the majors this year going to have John Rahm and Bryson DeChambeau in their field?
Yes.
All 4. The Players? No. I think that by in and of itself distinguishes it from the others, and not in the good way, not in the above and standing above all the others.
Who also won't be at the Players?
Who's that?
P. Reed.
Yeah. I mean, Blocky doesn't have a path. Yeah. There's others. There's plenty of reasons why. And by virtue of the fact that only one person in his 50-year history has managed to successfully defend it, I would argue that is the hardest major championship to win. I don't think that's persuasive. Like, I don't think that has. Can we find Colonial? I don't know. We can find a PGA Tour event that hasn't had a repeat of the defense. I don't know that makes it.
Does John Deere? Because any really great player doesn't go back to it.
I mean, how many of the Masters have gone back to back? Faldo, and that's it, right? I think.
Yeah.
Especially since it moved to TPC Sawgrass, save one hole is arguably. I think he's talking about 17. Save one hole is arguably the best golf course they play a major championship on from a shot value perspective.
Shot value is such a fake term and not term.
I don't know why he needed to go here. He could all right, it's a great event. It's a major in your hand. They have the rights to the U.S. Open and the Open, and they do ANWA, and they do I'm sort of shocked that he's just putting it up above all those. It's bold, but he's a bold takesmith. He's very bold. This comes on the heels, of course, of the marketing push by the tour saying March is going to be major. I thought this was interesting. Shane Ryan reached out to someone from comms on the tour being like, what are we doing here? Are we going back to the well? Those who don't know their history are doomed to repeat it, as they say. Are we going back and doing this? You guys are just going to declare it's a major, which of course brings it more into scrutiny, more into under the microscope, more under a negative lens for a reason that dissecting it. And in recent years, we've just been kind of celebrating it, but they want to put themselves out there to be, judged like that. The response to Shane Ryan says, fans and players have long discussed the Players Championship status as a major. We understand that is not for us to decide. You know what? Parenthetically, I'll just add, it sounds like you're trying to decide it. That's bullshit. We understand it's not for us to decide, but you are telling us. Ultimately, it is up to our sport and its fans to recognize what the professionals who play the game already know. I will add a little unsubstantiated rumor to this. We're going down player well. Phil on Twitter responded, I've won it. It's not a major. I'm told the tour nudged a friendly media face to go at a recent event, it's called a fall series event, go around asking all the players at that event, is the Players Championship a major? And I believe all or a great majority said no. And that story then never got out. Laying the groundwork for this subsequent marketing campaign. I don't know. I don't know why we have to debate this. I don't know why we have to talk about this. I love the Players. I think it's about as well run as any event in golf. It is so dialed in when you go down there. I'm looking forward to going down there in a month. It's exceptional. Such a cool event. I think creating this discussion again, and the tour is doing it, pushing it, is just sort of an own goal. And do you think this comes from the equity boys saying, we don't own the top 4 events, we're just going to call our shot and make it one again?
Well, Vic, first of all, thanks for saying I don't sound defensive.
I think that's naive to the prior 15, 20 years of this discourse.
Listen, I think if you don't first succeed, try again.
No, but
What the tour can't help itself.
well, all this
They
does is put
need to get one of these events into the next level, and it's like they try to do this. It just everything comes back, Brendan. Everything comes back.
What I hate about it is it then puts the players on the cross examination stand, and now we have to pick at it. Like, no, it's not. It's
Just wait till Siwoo and Hisatsuni deliver an epic performance, and people will be asking if the President's Cup's as good as the Ryder Cup this year.
That's fine. Whatever. That's fine.
That's coming next.
I know. The discourse is exhausting. All right. I think that does it for this quick Super Bowl live counter program.
Before we get there, we've got our live show. You guys, next recording will be in the great city of Chicago.
I got bumped up to first class. That doesn't happen to me much. There must just not be a lot of people interested in going to Chicago right now.
The weather's gonna be nice. Seeing some 40s and sunshine.
Great. Love it.
Might lend itself well to PJ getting on some boats and going up Ferris wheels.
Yeah.
Ferris wheels. But it came to my attention that some of these ticket websites have written descriptions about the shotgun start. This one's from Event Ticket Center.
These third-party sellers of tickets.
Yeah, they're about the event section for the Shotgun Start podcast, live podcast. Yeah, Shotgun Start brings their dynamic blend of alternative, indie, and punk rock to Evanston Space in Evanston, Illinois. Mark your calendars for an electrifying performance on February 12th, 2026, with a showtime at 7:30 p.m. It's actually 8 p.m., I believe, right?
Well, that's like the least of our worries, inaccuracies in this write-up.
This Minneapolis-based band is set to deliver a high-energy live show, promising an engaging night of original music within the renowned, intimate venue. The Shotgun Start's visit to Evanston Space offers fans a direct connection to their powerful sound and captivating stage presence. What of that description are you most worried about living up to?
Powerful stage, powerful sound. Is that what it was?
Powerful sound and captivating stage presence.
I think I'm concerned about the band part. I have no musical talent. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, we could get some, start tapping on the table and make some percussive sounds. I'm worried that someone is going to buy a ticket under the guise of this write-up and then come to the event and they're just going to have two jokers up there talking about golf, sometimes about golf. Like, that would concern me. Is they're going to get some alt indie music enthusiasts just totally suckered on this write-up and show up at Space, and then this is what you get? That'd be worrisome.
I got another one. It's a shorter one from Vibe Map.
Oh boy.
It's a Vibe app. It's a Vibe Map app.
Okay.
Welcome to the electrifying live performance by the Shotgun Start at Evanston Space in Evanston, Illinois. On February 12th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. Get ready to be blown away by the raw talent and energy of this dynamic band. Known for their high-octane performances and infectious stage presence, the Shotgun Start guarantees a night you won't forget.
Well, I actually think we can come through on that last part. I think we can guarantee it won't be a night. But if you're buying based off of that, you certainly won't forget it, because you'll show up and it'll be a discussion about the Western Open.
Is this some AI? Like, how are they where are they getting this info?
It's got to be AI. It's just some 24-year-old intern inputting AI descriptions into some app.
Oh, we're gonna have to bring a few instruments just in case. We need to go impromptu off the cuff. All right. That does it. Check out tickets. Tickets on the website. The actual website for Space, I hopefully has an accurate description. Buy tickets. We'll be there Thursday. I'm flying tomorrow. Can't wait to see everybody. PJ will be there. KVV will be there. I have a lot of friends in Chicago. Hopefully get to see everybody. You got friends and family. It should be a fun night. We're going to be there an hour early. Check out the website. Go ahead.
I think we got Lottie's. We're going to make a Lottie's run one night.
Sluggers.
Sluggers.
I don't. Apparently, we have a line to the.
We have a
somebody
line
with
to Sluggers.
Yeah. All right. Can't wait. Excited to see you guys this week and see everybody on Thursday at Space. Buy your tickets. They'll be available till showtime. Enjoy your Mondays. We made it to 11 minutes of the second quarter of the Super Bowl. If you've been watching us, then I guess you just don't care about football. But we'll talk to you on Wednesday.